commercial use of our listening audience, any publication, reproduction, retransmission without the express written consent of the Raleigh Firebirds and CRN Sports Network and the Basketball League is restricted and prohibited. Follow us online at crnsports.org. One of the local high schools of Indiana dance team keeping them entertained during the halftime report. Welcome back inside the Thomas Carr Howe Arena. Trey Stein, Wesley Outlet here with you, 64-50 at the half. And Trey Stein, it's been a pendulum effect for the Raleigh Firebirds in their first half of basketball. I think that's the fairest way to say it. They're not out of the woods just yet. They're literally staying within the crosshairs, but those last 3 minutes before halftime, the Indy Express really piled it on at the break.
Yeah, I mean, it came down to, what we like to call the bonehead situations, where they're losing the ball down low. They're not shooting the ball effectively. And so it's going to take a really changing effect for the Raleigh Firebirds to get back in this ball game. Again, 64-50 is your score. And the biggest thing right now is they're not moving the ball effectively for the Raleigh the Firebirds. What they're doing is they're trying to take it down low by themselves, and when they do try to pass it out, the Indy Express, they are getting in front of the basketball. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Firebirds are going to do in this second half. And the reason why I say that, because they're still in this ball game. It's a 64-50 game. That's you start taking a couple of threes. We understand that already seen that this team can shoot the three ball. We see that. But what's going to be a difference in this ball game? The Firebirds have to get it down low to their big men. Darius has to do his thing. Johnny Milligan is going to continue playing the point guard position for the Raleigh Firebirds. He is by far their best player so far, and alongside Shaq Dance, number 24, who has 12 points. And so there are some different pieces that the Firebirds have. Now you can't do it by yourself if you're Milligan, if you're Shaq Dance. You have to do it as a collective group. And that's what this Raleigh Firebirds team is all about. They love to play each other. We see just on the trip here, we see that they're very close as an individual. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do moving forward, because kind of walk through a little bit about the leading scorers. Darius Leonard has 5. Jamal McCoy has 4. Jonathan Milligan with 6. Matthew McLean with 6. Caleb Stewart with 3. Shaq Dance with 12. Jamal McAllister, number 10. And Justin Vaughn with 3. So they have the ball. They have the pieces to be able to do it. Right now we're going to head courtside with Mr. Wesley Allen to talk to Coach Wade.
Trey Stott, again, it's the second season for the Raleigh Firebirds, and we're here with the owner, Wade Harris. Made the trip all the way from the Tar Heel State to Indiana. What are you taking out of season number 2 in this opening matchup tonight against the Indy Express?
Well, this is a really good team. They beat a team by 30-something points the other night, but I think our guys were really competitive the first half. Got to clean up a few little things. We missed some free throws. We got to run them off the three-point line and just stay aggressive. Man, our guys are really doing a great job, considering this is their first half of basketball ever having played together. So we're looking forward to a strong second half. I think we can close this lead down in the third. It's going to be a tough fourth quarter, and I think we have a chance to come out with a win.
I know we're the away squad, but I have to say, Wade, it is a phenomenal turnout for the Basketball League in their second season of operations here on a Saturday night in January, or correction, February 1st in Indianapolis here this evening.
Absolutely. They've done a great job promoting this venue and this game. We'll be coming home on Friday the 7th, and hopefully we'll have a full house. We're expecting all of our Tar Heel Triangle people to come out and support. But we want to come home with a win tonight and then get ready to play in Owensboro tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
What does it mean to you to have professional basketball in the Triangle State of North Carolina?
Well, growing up in North Carolina myself, it means the world to me to be able to bring professional basketball to our community and promote STEM education to the youth in our community and create collaborations between companies and young people. It's just really a dream come true. It's something that we never thought was possible necessarily, but we're fortunate to have given the opportunity by the TBL, and we're going to make the best of it.
And, of course, some of the partners we want to thank Trace on include Golden Corral, Chick-fil-A, Sinclair Broadcast Group, Kitty Care, so many of the sponsors that make it happen for the second year of the Basketball League at Raleigh Firebirds. That is the owner, Mr. Wade Harris. We'll have an interview with Coach Oliver in just a moment.
Again, thank you, Wesley Allen, for bringing courtside with the owner of the Raleigh Firebirds, all the way from Raleigh, North Carolina, who also made the trip. That's what's great about this Firebirds basketball team. They're building a culture. They're building a team. They're building a team that is moving forward and building a culture that is exciting for the Triangle down in Raleigh. Now we're going to head over to Wesley Allen once again on the courtside.
We're here with Coach Lee McDuffie of the Indy Express, their first home game, because you're on the road against Owensboro. We play Owensboro tomorrow afternoon. But what is your thoughts of this game here so far in the first half, and what your team's doing?
Well, I think we started out a little slow. And I think we're actually playing a little bit soft on defense. Offensively, we're doing okay. We need to run a little bit more pick and rolls, get them more slobs to our big men, and we're going to lock down on defense a little bit more second half. We're playing on the white line. The line's a little bit confusing. We're going to step out, pressure the defense a little better. We're going to hit our shot.
This is your first season with the Indy Express being a part of the Basketball League and what they're doing with the franchise and the company. What made you decide to be a part of it with so much history in Indiana with basketball?
Well, first and foremost, a good friend of mine, David Magley, him and his wife, Evelyn, they had a vision years ago to start the league. And then once they started the league, I wanted to be supportive of them regardless. I had the opportunity to help them bring a team here to Indianapolis. And so I'm here to bring it to my city, represent for my city. Then next year I'll be moving on to San Diego to be a GM and a coach in San Diego.
There you go. That's Coach McDuffie. And as it stands right now, they got that win at Owensboro on Thursday night, Trace night. And now they're trying to go 2-0. The Raleigh Firebirds trying to win on the road. And, of course, with that also being said, he mentioned David and Evelyn Magley, the people behind the Basketball League. And you can go to thebasketballleague.net for all information, the games, the schedules, the standings, up-to-the-minute information, and more like we're having here tonight in Indianapolis.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wesley Allen, for speaking with both the owner of the Raleigh Firebirds, Mr. Wade Harris, and the head coach, Mr. Lee McDuffie. And we're going to wait for him. He's going to go into speak to, looks like, Coach Oliver here in just a second. Kind of walk you through the Indy Express so far. You heard what Coach Lee Duffy just said of the Indy Express is they want to do a little bit more. They have to strengthen a little bit on the defensive side. And so we got to see what the Firebirds can do moving forward into the second half, because they have to get back in this ball game. It's 64-50, and it's with about 4:25 remaining in the half. And so it's going to be interesting to see what they do moving forward. But on the other end of the court for this Indy Express team, Warren Jones with 2 points, Dante Vaughn with 3. John Hart has already 18 points on the day. Joe Reddick with 5. Troy Taylor with 6. Philip Serwaka with number 4. Dixon with 4 points. Akada Main Young with 2 points. And Robert Vaden with 14 points. So it's going to be interesting moving forward with the Raleigh Firebirds in the Express, because I'm telling you, it's going to be a great second half. You do not want to go anywhere. And the reason being, we've seen that this team can hang with a great team in the Express. We've seen they can shoot the ball extremely impressive. We've seen what Shaq Dance can do against this inside presence of Dixon and Menyang, excuse me. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. We thank Wesley Allen for getting those coaching interview and owner of the Mr. Wade Harris of the Raleigh Firebirds. I'm looking forward to kind of see what moving forward, because you never know. Again, we understand what the Raleigh Firebirds can do, but we've seen either on video at the basketballleague.net and the Sportscaster app, as you can watch these games as well as listen to our broadcast at crnsports.org. So we've seen what the Indy Express can do. We've seen in the first half what the Raleigh Firebirds can do. They have to, like, for example, and Jonathan Milligan has to control the ball a little bit more. And he's taking chances, but those chances aren't turning into – I'm all for taking chances. But we've got to look for him, Milligan, to kind of take over this ball game in the second half. Right now we're going to head over to Mr. Wesley Allen to talk to the head coach, DeMarcus Oliver.
Just a few minutes remain in the Symmetry halftime report. We're here now with Coach DeMarcus Oliver, the assistant head coach and of course, general manager for the Raleigh Firebirds. What can you take out of the opening first half of the season so far?
Yes, sir. So far, I feel good. This is our guys' their very first game, first time playing together on the road. Indy, this is their second game, right? And so I feel good about our guys. We just got a couple of things we're going to tweak up, and we prepare for a great second half.
One thing I noticed, they really pulled away those last 3 minutes of the first half, but the Firebirds have been able to hang with them. What are you changing the tempo for the second half to bring it home for the win?
Well, what we're going to do different coming into the second half is we're going to stay big. One thing that I think they realize is that their 7-footers were not effective. As long as they were in the game, we were very competitive with them, had a great defensive assignment, and the game was always within 3 to 5 points. And so they went small with us, and we matched them to going small. Basically, they hit more three-pointers, made some free throws. We missed three-pointers and missed a couple of free throws. That's the differentiating factor from that. So we'll be all right in the second half.
All right, there's the thoughts of head coach for assistant head coach and general manager DeMarcus Oliver. And his things is real simple, Trace Nod. He just simply says, we got to set up, we got to play man-to-man, we got to get more hard and aggressive, and if we can make these stops, we can be there at the end of the game.
Oh, absolutely, Wesley. Thank you for sitting down with DeMarcus Oliver, the assistant coach, the head coach this evening for the Raleigh Firebirds. We've seen what they can do. They can shoot the ball. I've said this over and over here in the halftime report, but they can shoot the ball. Just like Wesley just mentioned just a few moments ago, that what's happening is when they go big, we match them big. When they go small, we match them. They're just shooting a little bit more threes and making those threes. And so you start making 4 or 5 threes out of, 6 or 7, then it's going to be a game-changing situation. So it's going to be interesting. A couple seconds before we get into the second half. It's 64-50 is your score. You're tuned in to the CRN Sports Network, home of the Raleigh Firebirds. Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited. It has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Welcome back inside the Thomas Carr Howe Center Arena here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Wesley Outland, Trace Snyde back here with you. That has been a wrap-up on the Symmetry Financial Group halftime report. We'll get ready for the second half of the game here now, as we're going to flip-flop positions with the Indy Express going to the left of the court. The Raleigh Firebirds will go to the right. Our left, their right of the court here on the CRN Sports Network. We're set for the second half action here. 24 seconds go up on the shot clock, and it will be the Raleigh Firebirds to put it back on defense as the Indy Express will put it inbound, led by number 9 of Mr. Robert Vaden. Vaden with the ball. He's got the rock there. He sends it off to number 3. Number 3 to Troy Taylor. And yes, we have flip-flopped again. Wesley Outland back to play-by-play. And Trace Snyde to color. And he'll do the winner interviews at the end of the game. We share here at CRN for the most part. John Hart will put it in for 2. 66-50. They're down by 16. The Raleigh Firebirds are. I asked Coach Oliver what we need to do, what we need to change, and they said point blank, we got to change things up tempo defensively. Let's see if we can get some open shots and make it happen. And just like that, that's what we need. A number 3, a 3-point shot by Jonathan Milligan. Jonathan Milligan, the 6'2 guard, puts it in for 3, Trace 9.
You just saw what the big man down low, Caleb Stewart, did. And he pushed the ball inside. All of a sudden, he went inside and found the open 3. But just like that, number 3 for the Troy Taylor shoots a 2. So it goes in there. He has 8 points.
Number 24 looking for a 3. Off the rim. It's no good. Give it back to the rebound. Back to the Firebirds. Turning it back over to the Indy Express by Warren Jones. Warren Jones will now get it back up court. This is a new team, the Indy Express, as well. Basket going in, rimming around, and finally puts it in. Number 24, Shaq Dance. And Shaq Dance will put it in for 2 now for the Raleigh Firebirds, it's now 68-55, a 13-point lead.
No, that's back